The Wayne Foundation is proud to be a sponsor of the Acts of Geekery Podcast. 20 years ago, Martha and Thomas Wayne were viciously gunned down. Their son Bruce rose from this tragedy and has begun to dole out justice the only way he can, through fundraisers. You can be a crusader for justice too by texting JUSTICE to 555-8201. There are some dark nights ahead, but with your help, we can make Gotham a safe place to be. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Acts of Geekery Podcast, episode 34. I'm Corey.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek, here to bring you all the geeky things in the world of geekdom. And all of them. We mean literally 100% geek.
All of them. Every single one.
Yep.
We do this joke every single time. And you
never
know what?
Gets old.
I was going to say, it never gets less funny.
No, yeah.
It didn't really have very far to go, but...
It was just kind of like mildly entertaining.
Comedy bronze.
Mm-hmm. That's like, what we bring. That
should be our tagline. Instead of all things geek, it should be, Acts of Geekery, comedy bronze.
Perfect. What better way to get into the news?
I don't have any fears. Bullshit. I don't. I'm scared of the big things. Cancer, terrorism, Ben Affleck being a lousy Batman.
Don't worry, man. He's gonna crush it.
It's the news.
The news!
Scott, I wish celebrities would stop dying. Celebrity. Oh, wow, I'm drunk, apparently.
This is the Acts of Geekery.
You wanted a drunk episode. You got one.
The libation episode. That's a good title.
The libation
episode. Because even if we're not actually drunk, we usually sound pretty drunk.
Yeah. Now, if only I know how libation.
I did not see this. Oh,
yeah.
I can see why you're saying...
Yeah.
Things aren't dying. Harrison Ford died in a plane crash?
No.
Oh,
No.
Oh, good. Okay.
Harrison Ford got in a plane crash.
That's right.
He was seriously injured?
They said not seriously. He was not even in like critical condition, but he had a broken rib, and I think he had a big bruising and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
so I'm not sure. But the sad news.
Yeah, the sad news. And we actually talked about this gentleman a while back when he actually came out and said he had cancer. Right. Sam Simon, the co-creator of The Simpsons, has died at 59.
Oh, it's sad news.
Yep, but a lot of his money that he had earned was going towards charities. We talked about him, and we kind of, I think back then we kind of made our peace with him.
Yeah, I'll have to say is way to leave a legacy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome that you're leaving all your money to charity, and I hope someday that I can do that. And also, not only charity, Simpsons.
Yeah.
I mean, we can enjoy Sam Simon.
30 years of Simpsons, I think it is?
Yeah, 30 years worth of Simpsons to enjoy.
There is never going to be another TV series that runs this long.
Yep.
No. I can't think of one.
So someone who didn't die, of course, was Harrison Ford. Mm-hmm. He did get in a plane crash in one of his personal small planes, not like a big jet plane, but more like a little Cessna or something.
He actually saves people in the mountain that are trapped in the mountains.
It's like a World War II training plane. They train pilots and stuff in it, and he picked it up surplus, of course.
So you're saying that he failed the training?
Someone told him the odds. Never tell me the odds, kid. But he did crash, and he's okay. Although people think that Episode 7's cursed, and
that's true. This is the second injury that Harrison Ford has had,
and apparently there's been other injuries on the set.
Wow.
Of other actors, maybe not the big name ones, but
George Lucas is cursing them from beyond his farm.
Beyond his farm, yeah, because he's not dead yet.
Nope. Damn it.
He hasn't eaten himself to the grave yet.
I'm sorry.
Or is that George R. R. Martin?
That's George R. R.
Yeah,
Martin.
that's right.
Yeah. I'm sick and tired of people getting on George R. R. Martin's case. All right. Well, let's move on. We got a lot of news to talk about today, so we're going to try and bust through it as fast as we can.
We say that every time.
Yep.
And it always goes long.
Yep. 2.5 hours. Here we come.
No, don't put people off.
Yeah.
1 hour and 15 minutes. Here we come.
Well, if they're listening to this episode right now, they can see how long.
Don't tell them.
Listeners,
the
email us and tell us how long it was.
Because everyone's going to be different.
Yep, exactly. But we're going to talk about Toy Story 4.
Yes.
Scott, are you excited for Toy Story 4?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm just kind of done with Toy Story.
Okay.
The third one was really good.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great place to end.
And a lot of people have been saying, don't move on to number 4 because you're going to ruin the trilogy. Well, they just came out and said that number 4 is not going to follow the trilogy.
A new set of toys.
A new set of toys, a brand new story, brand new house.
I like that.
I'm okay with that too.
It's Sid.
Oh my gosh,
Sid's
I don't
kid.
like.
Sid's kid.
And like Sid's kind of grown up to be a nice businessman.
Sure.
Or is it a
He's grown up to be Lord Business.
Lord Business? Wait, so it's the Lego movie again?
It's Toy Story 4, the Lego movie.
The Lego movie. That kind of was Toy Story 4.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Speaking of other movies, China.
Is the movie?
I'm sure there's a movie named China. Actually,
sure.
China has been putting Hollywood to shame as far as
Shame on you, Hollywood.
how much money they're raking in. They are now the second highest grossing movie conglomerate company. I don't know what you would call
like
that. Movie producing
collection?
company. Yeah. Anyways,
China was a 1943 movie starring Loretta Young, Alan Ladd, William Bendix, Phil Ahn, Iris Wong, and a bunch of other people.
okay. Anyways, so Hollywood hasn't been number one for a while. In fact, Bollywood has been number one for the longest time. They produce, like, for every one movie that Hollywood puts out, Bollywood produces, like...
20 bad ones.
Yeah. And so China just rose up in the ranks. It's, I think, second. I think it's still behind Bollywood, but it's beating out...
honestly, China's kind of becoming the focal point for the world.
You want to know something funny? I saw a trailer for a movie from China. It was a feudal Japan, feudal Chinese, whatever you want to call it, samurai-ish movie or ninja or whatever the hell, China's mythology is.
We have cowboys. They have samurai.
Basically, yes. So
actually, no, they don't have samurai at all.
And here I'm thinking like a bunch of no-name actors, a bunch of people I've never seen before, and all subtitled. No, all English.
Really?
A couple actors I have seen before, and it's something like The Dragon. I have to look it up, but I was very surprised. And the production quality, fantastic.
Wow.
Like, looked Hollywood. So,
wow.
And it was made
so is that
in China for China.
Is that China's way of being
China,
like a foreign film? Like how we brought Crouching Tiger over here?
Kinda.
And subtitled it?
Sure,
Theirs is kind of going to be...
Well, there's only 2 or 3 American or British actors in it. Mm-hmm. And the rest are Chinese actors and Chinese extras and stuff.
Okay.
Which is fine. I mean, it's their country. I don't care. But it's kind of interesting. I'll have to find it. Maybe I can find it before we do the trailers, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about it.
Mm-hmm. So I know to talk about China and how big they're getting. A couple years ago, every year the YouTube comes out with their YouTube Rewind to show you like the biggest viral videos of the last year, and they put it all to music and everything. It looks really great.
Yeah.
But this year, I noticed something different. Half of it took place in China.
Okay.
Half of it was China with Chinese YouTubers.
It makes sense. They've got 1.3 billion people
they're
in their country.
We're literally shifting gears.
You know how much America has?
Being the powerhouse.
350 million.
Yeah, we have like 5% of the population, and we use like 30% of its resources.
Yeah. Go Americans. I'm rolling my eyes right now.
We just love our excess. I mean, look at this studio as an example.
Yeah, it's so excessive.
Yeah.
It's like pigeonholed into my basement. Anyways, so yeah, kind of cool, interesting news there. They're doing some stuff. I'll find that trailer before we do trailers, and we'll talk about it.
We have a PSA for Canadians, if I'm not mistaken, from this next story.
One of those, the more you know things.
Yes.
And knowledge is power type deal. G.I. Joe.
The Bank of Canada says, stop spocking your $5 bills.
Whoa, that sounds like some kind of... like a sex term that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Quit spocking your bills, people.
Sorry.
Quit it.
Sorry, didn't mean to spock my bill.
Sorry, eh?
No, so apparently the person on the $5 bill is a prime minister who kind of looks like Spock.
I guess.
If you color the hair and give him the pointy ears.
So people were taking these bills, drawing his hair, making pointy ears, sometimes giving him a goatee for evil Spock.
Evil Spock.
You know, alternate universe
just
Spock.
Giving him, just kind of paying tribute to Leonard Nimoy. So
And China comes, or not China, talking about China, Canada comes back and they're like, hey, please stop doing that. And people were just like, nope. So I'm sure more people are going to do it now.
Yeah.
And you know what? I hope someone develops a stamp that all you have to do is just stamp it in the right spot. Boom.
Boom. Instant Spock.
Instant Spock. They already make it for our. They already make it for our bills for certain things.
Oh, that's true. William Shatner, who is a Canadian.
Yep.
Wow, my voice is great today. Came out and said, "I think it's great. Go ahead, Spock him. That's fine.
It's not illegal.
No,
you're not defacing the money for the purpose of ruining it.
Yeah,
that's kind of like in America too. People are like, oh, don't draw on a dollar bill and don't put a stamp on
America
it.
too, the Americaning.
Yes, America harder, which we do not want.
No.
But
we're okay with
it's
a little
not
bit
illegal.
softer America.
So kind of cool. I kind of want to get a hold of one of the bills just so I can have a Spocked $5 Canadian bill. If any of our Canadian listeners, I know there's a Mountie out there somewhere listening to the podcast while he's riding his horse arresting people.
These guys are funny.
Or maybe someone's watching it or listening to it while they're eating poutine.
Or maple syrup. Any maple syrup eaters? You're Canadian.
At a Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons.
And I just need one of those $5 bills. You can send it on over.
Send $5.
I'll give you $5 American back. You are making money by giving me money.
Why don't we just take a trip up to Canada?
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah,
too.
Sure. Road trip.
Actually,
you know what I want?
you can just go to like a exchange place and get some money. But
so instead of a $5 bill, I want people to send me a virtual reality headset.
Just one?
Just one.
What about more than one?
I guess I can have two. That's fine.
You're greedy. You greedy American.
Oh,
America
geez.
too. America harder. Of course.
Of course. But Sony has announced that they are coming out with a virtual reality headset in 2016.
They kind of at like CES and E3, they kind of hinted at it, and they had a little prototype. Basically, it hooks up with PlayStation 4, so you can use not only the controllers, but you can use like the wand with the weird glowing ball.
Yeah, the PlayStation Move.
Yeah, and the PlayStation Eye or whatever. Supposed to work with that. Plus, I think they're going to make it available so you can plug it into the computer as well.
That would be really cool.
Cool.
I'm all for virtual reality. I mean, I want the virtual reality where I don't have to have a controller. I can literally like move around and everything. I want a holodeck.
I want a holodeck. I want one too.
But
I want a holodeck because then I could actually play video games and get in shape at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be lazy by not being lazy.
So I was talking with my wife about this. I could talk about her even though she's still here, or she's here.
She still doesn't listen to the podcast, even though she's sitting literally 3 feet from you.
Yeah, it just she just waved to you, listeners. I hope you enjoyed that. But I was talking with her, and I said it would be really cool to have a full setup with the whole running thing, and then have an exercise program be Run from Zombies. You know, a whole zombie exercise training regime. It's like,
but you can't say exercise. People won't do it. It's like if humans could fly, we would consider it exercise and never do it.
No, I'd still fly.
Not if you got it just now, sure.
Yeah.
But if you grew up with it, you'd consider it exercise. Yeah. And I mean, we can run.
Yeah.
But we consider it exercise. We never do it.
Okay.
Yeah. VR.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Speaking of Sony, the Russo Brothers, you might know them from a little small foreign film called Captain America 2. A little tiny, unknown, independent film.
Yeah, just something small.
Yeah, Captain America 2, Winter Soldier. Only one of the best Marvel movies ever made.
Yep, the best Marvel movie ever made.
I disagree, but we already talked about that
in
a couple podcasts ago. You should go listen. They just signed a 3-year first look deal. What that means is Sony will now look at their scripts and their writing before anything else for stuff.
Does that mean that they also get first pick of Sony's scripts that they want to direct to?
I don't know. I think it's just basically they're like, hey, we're interested in doing Spider-Man. Here's our script. And Sony's like, hey, we'll look at yours first. And then they, it's just a better opportunity for them to do something good. I hope they do something like Spider-Man because if it can be half as good as Captain America 2, it'll be fantastic.
Actually, they are not doing Spider-Man.
Oh.
Yes. So I might as well get into this down here. Marvel Sony's new Spider-Man has a director and a writer, and it's the same person. His name is Drew Goddard.
Okay, don't know him.
You may have seen a movie that he made called World War Z.
Oh.
Which was actually not a very well-liked movie among critics, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
You should say very well received.
Received.
I think is the best way to put it.
He also wrote Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, sweet.
And Cloverfield. And some episodes of Lost.
Yeah. I liked World War Z. I really did.
Uh-huh.
And Cabin of the Woods, of course, is like the greatest horror movie ever made.
It is actually the greatest horror movie ever made.
Yes. So that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad they're getting something.
They're rebooting the series with
another reboot.
They're going to call it the Spectacular Spider-Man because they're running out of things to say.
Okay.
And the movie is also reported
They're running out of adjectives?
Yes.
Or adverbs?
They're going to have to start using other things. The Fantastic Spider-Man.
Nope,
the
don't
Incredible. the Invincible.
The Imperious.
The Mighty.
The Imperious Spider-Man.
Imperious Spider-Man.
Okay.
But they said that Iron Man will have something to do with Spider-Man.
Iron Man. That's like, I hate when people say robot. Instead of saying robot, they say robot.
Robot.
Robot? Really? Robot?
Come on. What year do we live in?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. More Sony news.
Yeah.
They are making a Ghostbusters movie. We knew that,
yes,
of course. They already picked their cast out.
Mm-hmm, but they are even doing even more. They're going Marvel. And they are making a Ghostbusters universe.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they've gotten they're spinning off a production company, making a new one called Ghost Corp.
Okay.
That's going to be dealing with all these. Dan Aykroyd and Ian Fleming are going to have stuff to do with it. Both Ghostbusters, alumni.
Yep.
And the comedy movie, which comes out first, is going to be followed by a male-driven, action-packed Ghostbusters movie that's going to be produced by Channing Tatum.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, I was all up for it until you said Channing Tatum. Well, not that I hate the guy. Yeah. I think going from trying to be an action star to being a comedic actor was the best move that he could have ever done.
He did really good.
That was a great choice for him to do.
I don't mind him. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Maybe Sony can put Ghostbusters in the same universe as Men in Black, in the same universe as 22 Jump Street, and make it just a big, weird movie Avengers.
You know what I'd like to see? I would like to see Men in Black and R.I.P.D.
That
crossover. That would be pretty cool.
Which, I mean, is kind of technically Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared about all these companies doing universes of movies because comic books, I can understand. There's such a huge amount of stuff. I mean, there's a massive amount of
contain it
of universe. Mm-hmm. And for other things, it's like making a Men in Black universe. I'm sure they could come up with stuff, but because they're not doing things that are already well received, we don't know how they're going to handle. We know how Marvel movies are going to do. Good.
Most likely.
I mean, right now they've got to keep the status quo of being the best. And they've also got to keep up the reputation of being the best. Yeah. So they're going to put a lot of money and time into it.
Yep.
Ghostbusters, I don't know.
We'll have to see.
I guess we'll see. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about this next one?
Yeah, it's not really a ghost.
No.
He's made a lot of ghosts out of other monsters. Godzilla. One of your favorites.
Ghost Hunter.
One of your favorite monsters, right?
Yes. Just because of the classicness of him, I would say there are other movie monsters out there that I enjoy better.
Oh, sure. I'm not saying he's your top favorite, but one of your favorites.
That would be the crab kaiju from Pacific Rim.
Alrighty. Anyways, a hotel in Japan. It's a hotel and a movie theater kind of combined in one.
That makes sense.
Well, you go to you sleep and then you walk downstairs and see a movie. I mean, that's kind of cool.
It makes sense.
I think it's called Toho.
That's what I do every day. Yeah. I go to sleep and then when I wake up, I go downstairs and watch a movie.
I know. That's why I built a theater in my hotel. My house-tel.
My house-tel.
But they put a giant statue of Godzilla's head bursting out of the top of their movie theater. Just kind of a cool little... Can you
get a penthouse that looks out over the Godzilla head?
I think you can, actually. I think that's part of it.
Awesome.
What I love about Japan is they're willing to do this kind of thing, and they're willing to spend the money for it.
Yeah.
I mean, they make full-size Gundams. They don't actually move, but they're giant statues. Yeah. They make full-size Transformers. Yeah. I mean, nowhere else does this. America doesn't do it.
They embrace their geekiness like no one else can.
Yeah.
Also, there is a hotel in Taiwan that you can rent a room that's Batman themed for $50.
Cool.
If you ever want to go to Taiwan.
I did see that. saw the room, and it's actually like the Bat Cave Batman theme.
Yeah.
Because it's got stalactites and stuff in it from the ceiling. It's pretty cool.
Very awesome.
Our Geo geoprofessor listeners, or whatever you want to call them, geologists are going to be like, they're called stalagmites when they're from the ceiling, not stalactites.
Are you sure?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying.
I think it's stalactites.
That's
because
right.
I think stalagmites might reach the ceiling. Is how I remember it.
Okay. Stalactites wear tights.
Stick tight to the ceiling.
You know who doesn't wear tights though? Judge Dredd.
How do you know underneath his cop suit he's got tights on?
I think Judge Dredd goes al natural.
Yeah.
He goes commando. He goes Dreddo.
Dreddo?
Yep. Yep. But speaking of Dredd, one of the best movies ever. Oh, it's great. And if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
It really is a good movie.
And I'm not talking about the terrible Sylvester Stallone version from the 1980s, I think.
No.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that version extensively and why you shouldn't go see it.
We are talking about the Carl Urban. I always have to think. I keep trying to say Keith Urban, the singer. I don't know why.
I'm gonna get you, bad guys.
Oh gosh, no. Anyways, Dredd 2. There was a who was the guy that was talking about it?
The director.
The director of it? Yeah. The director was saying basically the only way to get another Dredd movie is to either get more funding.
Okay.
Which he's like, if we get less funding, it's not going to work because it'll be a found footage film and no one will see that. Yeah, probably true.
Yeah, exactly.
Or to... What was the other?
Get a big name director.
To get a big name director, so not him.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
He's kind of selling himself short. But
well, you know what? He's not a big name director.
No, but it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Or he says, get a big action star. Get a big star. Like, I'll say, The Rock.
And he actually went on to say that The Rock saves every franchise that he gets in. Which was kind of true for the Fast and Furious.
Kind of true for Fast and Furious, yeah.
At least.
Maybe he'll be true for DC.
Yeah.
He'll save DC by being
but that means John Justice is going to be crappy.
I know. I'm just joking. It's just a joke, Corey. It's, comedy bronze.
I know.
What we do here.
You're just worrying me, that's all.
All right, I won't worry anymore, I promise.
Good. I'm glad.
All right.
Mike Coulter. He's going to be your
Squinty eyes.
Squinty eyes. Yes, you finally saw him in something.
I saw him in something, and that's all I can see.
Yeah.
I have this horrible problem with picking out something in an actor and actress that slightly bugs me a little bit about them, whether it be the way they talk, the way they walk, you know.
Is it the grumpy way he talks, or the clunky way he walks?
Just stop.
Oh man, sorry, that was just like such a weird reference right there.
It's very weird.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyways, he's got really squinty eyes. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just bugs me. There's a couple. I've ruined a couple characters for Corey.
Yep.
For you.
Not this one though.
No?
He's gonna do good.
Hopefully he does.
And he says that Luke Cage is going to be more adult oriented.
That's
of a Marvel series.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, because he's gonna be fighting like
First of all, it's on Netflix, so they can up their rating a little bit more.
Which I heard that the first review for Daredevil got released somewhere.
Do we know if it's good or bad?
I haven't read it yet. I heard it just got released. I'm not gonna judge it based on one review.
No, but I'm always curious to see what that initial impression was for the very first person to actually release it, to either break the NDA or to actually say Netflix say, hey, yeah, you go ahead. That's cool. I hope they do that. Same with Jessica, aka Jessica Jones. I hope they all make a more darker, gritty, geared towards adult audience. So.
Which Jessica Jones is kind of darker and grittier.
There's a couple things that's one of the things that bugs me a little bit about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that it's not a little more gritty. Yeah. They do some stuff, but it's still, since it's ABC, it's still pretty family oriented. They're, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I want I want them to be a little more realistic and not in the way of like, oh, that can't happen. They can't really fly. No, I'm talking about...
Sorry, go on.
I'm talking about, when there's a bad guy and S.H.I.E.L.D. bursts in the room. S.H.I.E.L.D. is a government agency that basically has autonomy to
do whatever.
Or kind of the license to kill, like Bond.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, take these guys out. And they don't go in a room and just capture them all. I mean, they may capture one, but then they murder the rest of them. Yep. Or... legally murder them. Whatever.
That's not really the Marvel universe, though. So.
No, and that's kind of what he said too. The director, I think, or just Netflix in general, they're just like, it's not what you've actually seen with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A little bit darker, so
which makes sense for a street level show.
Yeah, and Luke Cage has always been that way. He's kind of a thug.
Yeah,
I mean, really, he's
in it for
and
the
not
money.
just because he's black. Corey, I know what you're thinking.
I didn't say anything.
But yeah, he's kind of a thug. He's in it for the money. He doesn't really. He does have a kind of a good streak to him, but it's pretty hard to find sometimes. So,
all right, let's see really quickly. Wolverine 3 will start filming in 2016.
Is it Wolverine 3? I just saw it was Wolverine sequel,
which is the third sequel to in the Wolverine franchise.
Okay,
so
sure,
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
AMC says they're going to host a Marvel marathon run before Age of Ultron, starting on Wednesday at 7, I think.
So AMC theaters,
yes,
not AMC the TV channel.
No.
They from Wednesday at like 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
At least this is here in Utah. I don't know if anywhere else is doing that. I'm sure somewhere else is doing it.
Look it up.
Look it up. Your local town might have something going on.
Mm-hmm.
But from Wednesday at 6 p.m. they're doing starting at Iron Man, going to the Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, Avengers, and by the way, going through all of these and then ending at Age of Ultron
at
for the 7 p.m. premiere on Thursday night, which
Megaplex
awesome.
In Utah is also doing this.
Yes, and AMC says if you can sit through the whole thing and you stay through the whole thing, you get a commemorative limited edition Marvel like collector's pin. So if you're into collecting pins, hey, you know,
all that for a pin.
Some people like it.
Yeah, fine. James Gunn may have dropped a huge bomb on the community the other day.
Bomb?
Like a knowledge bomb.
Oh, okay.
So he said, somebody asked him what his plans were for Comic-Con this year, San Diego. And he said, I'm not even sure if I'm going. I mean, I know Marvel said they weren't going, so I'm not sure if I am.
Huh.
Now, we're not talking Marvel Comics, we're talking Marvel Studios, which seems really weird that they're not going to the biggest place to reveal their big stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they're going to make Marvel Con.
Marvel hasn't commented on it.
Commented.
See
what you're doing here.
But the theory is that maybe they're going to skip it for D23, which is the Disney big reveal area, where they reveal all of their working projects and everything.
Is it like a Disney Con, basically?
Yeah, basically. It's like a biannual convention. I mean, the next one's in August.
It makes sense. They decided not to go with Voodoo or Ultraviolet for the digital movies, and they made their own Disney Anywhere or whatever it's called. So they're kind of trying to make their own thing.
Yeah, like they've never been at Comic-Con before. I don't know, though. Are they missing out on a huge opportunity by not going?
Time will tell.
Yeah.
I guess. Time will tell. Time will tell.
Yep, time will tell.
Speaking of Comic-Con, just a side note here. Salt Lake Comic-Con, second biggest in the nation?
Yep.
You know, is...
Second or third.
Second or third, yeah. Is their tickets go on sale for September 2015, September 23rd and 24th.
24th, 25th, and 26th.
Oh, okay. And they go on sale this month. So those of you that want to go, they will be going on sale by the end of the month.
Definitely be on the lookout. Yes. That's going to be great. All right, now let's talk about Jared Leto.
Holy crap. I heard this, but I hadn't seen it yet.
So Jared Leto's pretty famous for his long hair and his hippie Jesus beard.
Yeah, yep.
Well, they finally cut it and shaved him for his role as the Joker. And here's our first look at it.
And oh my gosh, he looks Joker-y.
Yeah. And there's even another picture where it shows him from the back, and the blonde hair has been kind of green tinged a little bit from the bleach. It looks pretty Joker-y.
Yeah.
So
I hope he'll do a good job. He's actually apparently a really good actor.
He doesn't even look like Jared Leto.
No, he doesn't.
Leto? Yeah, whatever.
Jared Leto.
Yeah.
I don't care. All I know is he's got a band and he's an actor. So.
So yeah, congratulations to him for cutting his hair. You look much better now than with that weird beard. I don't know, like
weird beard.
Weird beard. There's certain people who look okay in beards. I don't think he's one of them. All right, next, something that I'm excited about. I'm glad of. Jada Pinkett Smith will not be back as Fish Mooney for Gotham.
Pinkett. Not Pickett.
Even
she's
her
not,
middle name
not,
is terrible.
She's not like outside with a sign like, no more Fish Mooney. No more Fish Mooney.
That's what we're saying.
We're picketing
Yes.
Pinkett.
Yep. And apparently she won't be back for Fish Mooney and Gotham.
In Gotham season 2.
Gotham season 2.
So, which is awesome because we don't like the character.
Yeah, I mean,
she bugs me.
I don't know why she bugs me. She's just kind of eccentric and weird.
Because they're making her out to be this super tough, badass girl crime boss, and she can't. I don't think she comes across as that. I look at her and I'm like, you're like 100 pounds dripping wet. You're not scary. You don't even do things like Joker level scary, you know, because he's a skinny guy. He's not like a big fighter or anything.
No, yeah, he does not look intimidating at all. He's a clown.
Yeah, but he does. I mean, he's ruthless, and she, I don't know. What that means is she'll be dead. She'll be dead at the end of season 1, which I don't care about.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Sucks that she's out of a job. She can find another job somewhere else.
Yep. So let's talk about other DC shows, the better DC shows.
All right.
In our opinion. Flash and Arrow, their spinoff is coming with the Justice League of America, basically.
Yes. What did they call it again? They didn't call it anything.
They haven't called it anything yet. However, they have revealed a casting call for the three characters that you haven't heard from yet.
Okay.
And we're gonna talk about these. I'm gonna read the descriptions of them, and we're gonna talk about what heroes we think they might be. So the first one is the Traveler, a Han Solo-esque rogue who gets by with his charm. This hero hails from the future and has journeyed back in time on a secret mission. His
Booster Gold.
No.
Ooh.
I think it's Rip Hunter Time Hunter.
Okay.
Which is technically maybe Booster Gold's son.
Yeah, Booster Gold would be a better choice.
But this website thinks that maybe it's a combination of the two. I think Booster Gold would be a better choice. I think it's going to be Rip Hunter.
They've done it in Smallville.
Yeah.
And they actually got a guy who played those pretty good.
For Booster. Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. The female warrior, this 20-something Latina, is pretty but unassuming, book smart, and socially awkward by day. But by night, when she hears the cry of battle, her fury is ignited and she becomes a fierce warrior, so much so that sometimes she can become a threat to others.
Vixen.
No.
It's kind of the Fury thing? Yeah.
No, the prevalent theory is Fury herself, which is
now we're getting to people that I'm like, well, I know that one, I guess, but they're not super popular.
Yeah, well,
obviously,
and that's the thing. You have to have a few minor characters in there too. And the last one is the mystery hero, which is an African American male in his 20s. Will fill the role of a regular street smart guy who unexpectedly gains powers, and then, as part of the team, regularly quips about the insanity of the situations.
Alternate Spider-Man.
Miles Morales. It joins the DC universe.
No, Static Shock.
Probably Static Shock or maybe Black Lightning.
Yeah.
That's the prevalent theory for that.
I mean, both basically have the exact same powers.
Yeah.
They really do.
They really, except for Static Shock's a little bit weaker, I guess. Because he's only static powers, not electric powers.
Static Shock can carry quite a bit of punch.
True.
So, yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. We also have our first look at Melissa Benoist. Benoist? I don't know. As Supergirl.
Sounds like moist. And people hate that word.
Moist. But we have our first picture of her in the Supergirl costume for the CBS series.
She is wearing a cape, like they said, which is awesome.
She's wearing her skirt, which is great. She has on the boots that kind of remind you of the New 52. Yeah. And she's got on red tights.
The knee-high boots.
She's got her red tights underneath the skirt, which is great because then you're not showing too much skin or whatever. She looks good.
Yeah, I think she does too. I don't know if I would have... I'm kind of partial to Laura Vandervoot, just because she played Supergirl from Smallville, and I thought she was like perfect casting as far as looks go. Smallville. Are you having trouble talking?
I guess I really am.
It is the libation episode.
It is the libation episode. I was gonna try and come up with other names, but I guess you called it.
If we come up with something better, but so far libation episode.
And we have a few.
Geeks who drink.
Yeah. Actually, no. There's already something out there. Warner Brothers executive.
Yes.
He's a superhero too, I guess. No. So this executive came out and said to the question, like, will we ever experience superhero fatigue?
And basically it was from a lot of the comments from the Oscars.
Yeah, basically people saying like, oh, superhero movies, they're going to dry out in like 10 years and we're going to be sick of them. Well, Warner Brothers executive who is a little biased, granted, because he makes money off superhero movies. But he has said that the diversity and variety of superheroes that there is makes it so that the fatigue is farther out.
Hey, that's kind of what we said when we were talking about this the other day, the other podcast. We said, look, there is so many stories, so much history,
you can only
so much
tell
content.
James Bond like 3 times before he gets boring.
So much content to get into that there can be hundreds more movies, and you're barely scratching the surface.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
so let's hope that he's right, that the bubble doesn't burst.
Yeah. When I first read the story, I read the headline, and I was like, diversity, like Michelle Rodriguez, like she was talking about? But
yeah,
no, he's talking about just the amount of different movies they can come out with.
Let's talk about The Walking Dead. We are still way behind on it.
Oh, yeah, we're way behind.
So far behind. They're like halfway into the next part of the season.
We're like 8 episodes behind. Yeah, we watched 2, I think.
We're getting death glares right now from my wife.
Because we got to catch up. I know.
But the spinoff is, I think it's coming this summer, and they've already ordered 2 seasons of it. So either they really like the pilot.
It's like Better Call Saul Walking Dead edition.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Either they really like the pilot, or they just are like, it's Walking Dead. People will watch it.
You know what would be cool?
What?
In The Walking Dead?
What?
Zombies on the moon. They send a bunch of zombies to the moon, and they just walk around there. That's they exile them up there.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next story.
Great segue.
There's actually a book out there. It's a little small book that no one's ever heard. If you're into sci-fi, no one really knows about it. Called The Moon is a Harsh Mistress.
Oh, Robert Heinlein.
Yeah, Robert A. Heinlein.
Oh, sorry, Robert A. Heinlein.
Yeah, book snobbies here, you know. Where the moon is actually a penal colony, and they harvest the water ice on the moon, and they grow crops, and they send them back to Earth.
All right.
Because it's easier to take stuff off the moon because it's got such low gravity. Anyways, great book. Great sci-fi book. Go read it. It's actually really fun. However, there is an adaptation for film coming out, and it's going to be directed by Bryan Singer.
Oh, the guy who did...
He did X-Men.
And X2.
X2.
Which was actually not too bad.
Yeah, did he do 3?
I think he did 3.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's got some positives, some negatives, but it's going to be an adaptation.
It's coming from Fox, 20th Century Fox.
From Fox, right? Yeah. And I guess it's been pitched before, but no one has ever really picked it up, which is kind of odd. I don't know why. It's a good book. It should be a good thing. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, he's done a couple episodes of House as well.
No. Sorry, Bryan Singer's did X-Men: Days of Future Past. He's okay.
And he did X-Men 2, which was really good.
He's okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're good.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not scared anymore.
No, I'm not scared anymore. I can let out a sigh of relief.
Take a geek breath and let it out. All right.
How does it like? I'm wondering how that sounds different than a normal breath. A geek breath.
It's a calm your geek down breath is what it is. It's
that's pretty much how I sound right now.
Pretty cool. It's going to be called Uprising. I'm
excited.
Basically, they revolt. I mean, that's the premise. Spoiler alert for a book that's been out for like 50 years. They revolt and they fight back against Earth. So it's cool.
All right,
I thought that was pretty cool.
Let's go ahead and get into the portion of the news I like to call the casting
couch,
which you tell me not to call it that. But we're going to call it that.
Okay.
We'll start out with the Evil Dead sequel that's coming from Sci-Fi, the comedy sequel, which is going to be starring Bruce Campbell. They have added Lucy Lawless to the cast, who is Xena. Yeah,
I know who she is. Mm-hmm. But I don't know anything about this Evil Dead sequel.
Yeah, well,
I mean, the movie itself's a comedy, pretty much. Anyway,
I knew it was coming. I just didn't know too much about it. This gentleman right here, Chris Chalk, nice looking man, right?
Yeah, he looks familiar.
Yeah, he's. Let's see what he's been in: 12 Years a Slave, Rent, Being Flynn.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of stuff. Homeland. He's Tom Walker on Homeland. For those of you who watch it. Which I hear is a good show. He's basically a TV actor. He has been cast as Lucius Fox in Gotham.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A young Lucius Fox.
A lung Lucius Fox.
Lung Lucius Fox.
We are, like I said, we're drunk. The libation episode.
Jeremy Renner is all but confirmed for Captain America Civil War, which is interesting.
The cool thing about
a lot of heroes in that movie.
The cool thing about Hawkeye and Black Widow is, guess what?
What?
They're never going to hit their 3-movie limit.
That's true.
Because they don't have
their own movies.
3 movies. Just they'll hit like 3 Captain America movies, then they'll go to 3 Thor movies, and then 3,
Black Widow in a Thor movie? Okay.
It could be happening. Let's be honest. As far as comic book characters go, she kind of gets around, and I'm not trying to slut shame her. I'm just saying
that's not
every time. There's a new every 6 comics or so, she's dating someone else from the Avengers, or she's been with someone else from the Avengers. So, and look, we've already seen it in the movies: Iron Man, Captain America.
Jeremy Renner,
Hawkeye.
Yeah, I can remember his regular
and now Bruce Banner in Age of Ultron. So I mean,
she gets around.
She is like the de facto love interest.
That's true. Yep. And you know what? Scarlett Johansson's a very pretty woman. So
I'm totally okay with her.
She can be. She can
get interest. Anywhere she wants. Yep, that's fine with me.
Sigourney Weaver will be back playing Ripley for Aliens 5.
She cannot get anywhere she wants. Lately. She was just in a movie we just saw.
Chappie, which we'll review coming up.
She kind of lately she's been phoning things in. It seems like not a very good part in that. I don't think so, but we'll talk about that a little later.
Okay. Let's see.
But Ripley, I mean, that started her career.
Yeah,
But
Alien
get away from her, you bitch.
That's a movie quote. We can say it.
It's a movie quote.
It's fine. It's all right. No explicit tag.
We need to find out what would actually be considered explicit.
Probably one more of those.
Let me just rewind.
Nope. We're going to move on to Farron Tahir joining the Supergirl cast as a person called the Commander, who is an alien military expert aligned against Supergirl.
Female or male?
Male. Do you know who he
Commander
is?
Khan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Captain Rebow.
Well, Captain Robow. Yeah. I understand who he is, but I'm saying Commander Khan, from the Earth 2 comics, he's the leader of the World Army, but he's also in DC Earth 1.
Okay,
as a big military.
Commander Khan, yeah, that makes sense. So Farron Tahir is Captain Rubao from Star Trek, which is the captain who dies within the first 5 minutes, but is a legendary badass in the Trekkie community.
Pretty much. He's been in other things.
He is also in Iron Man #1. He is
he's
the guy with the scarred face, and the one who tries to put a coal in Jensen's mouth.
Yeah, he's the leader of
the 10 rings.
That 10 rings area right there. So
yep. So that's really cool. We also have that Jeremy Jordan is joining.
Basically,
Supergirl.
he's that Supergirl's Lex Luthor. Because he's aligned against Supergirl.
Yep.
He's Lex Luthor, probably minus the money and minus the intelligence.
Yeah. So a weaker Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
We also have that Jeremy Jordan is joining the Supergirl franchise as the Toyman,
which is one of my favorite characters. Really,
the Toyman is really funny.
First of all, he's little known. He's a genius, one of the smartest people in the DC universe.
He actually killed Superman in the Justice League animated series.
Yep.
If you remember. I mean, he just sent him forward in time instead,
but he builds all kinds of crazy contraptions and robots and stuff. It was, and he's really goofy while he does it too, which I think is awesome as well.
So Jeremy Jordan's not really famous for much. He's been in Smash, which is a 2012 TV series.
Yeah. I don't know
but Toyman.
This whole Supergirl series is a lot of just TV actors.
Yeah, a lot of. We don't really want to make anybody too famous on here. We didn't know who Stephen Amell was before Arrow, though.
Yeah.
So I mean,
or Flash, you mean?
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell. I'm thinking Robbie. Sorry.
No, yeah, you're thinking.
But even then.
Some great movie news. We have Dan Stevens is cast as Beast for the live-action Beauty and the Beast alongside Emma Watson.
Yep.
Which I almost said Stone.
I think that's actually a great Beauty as far as not only her, but
Book smart,
but as Cass.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she already can play a really smart girl, nerdy girl. Come on, Hermione.
Downton Abbey is where you would know Dan Stevens from if you're a big Downton Abbey fan.
But is it CW doing?
No, this is a movie.
So it's not like Warner Brothers doing it, right?
It's not.
Because if it was a TV show, CW, he would be a beast and he would have like a scar on his cheek.
They did that.
That's it.
They did that.
Oh,
they had a live
really?
action Beauty and the Beast. Well, first of all, it was a remake of an old like 1990s version.
Yeah.
That starred Ron Perlman as the Beast, and he looked like they gave him fur prosthetics and everything.
Awesome.
But they rebooted it, and it went about a season. But the Beast was literally a guy with a scar on his face.
Yeah, because
like a hot guy.
That makes you a horrible.
Oh my gosh,
person.
so ugly. There was a movie with one of the Olsen sisters.
Yeah, and it was called Beastly.
Beastly, that's what it is.
And the guy has a few scars on him and like some tattoos or something, and he's a hideous beast.
Oh my gosh.
No, he's not.
No.
I would give anything to have those abs. I would have scars all over me. I don't care.
Now, if like she cursed him and then he got a huge gut, that would be a little bit different.
Yeah, and a hunchback and like one bulging eye. Wait, we're talking about the Hunchback in Notre Dame now.
Yeah.
But there's a beast.
Yep, and we also have that Luke Evans has been cast for Beauty and the Beast as Gaston.
Name sounds familiar.
He's budget Orlando Bloom.
Oh, right. Yeah. He's the one that looks more like Orlando Bloom than Orlando Bloom does.
Yes, I saw that too.
But yeah, good Gaston.
Yeah, I think he would make a fine Gaston. He's not really like the buff version.
I don't think this movie will have. Well, you're thinking about the Disney version where he's very overly proportioned.
Yes, that's true.
We don't even have WWE wrestlers and bodybuilders that look like Gaston from the movie does.
So we have 3 casting for Independence Day 2, which is the sequel coming out for Independence Day 1.
Independence harder.
The Independencing. Jesse Usher. Don't know who he is. But he's been cast as Will Smith's son, like an older version.
Yep.
And
like a 20 years after the fact, because his son's only like 4 or 5 in the.
That's true.
In the movie, really young.
Yeah. So I don't know if Will Smith will be back or not.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in so long. Yeah. I can barely remember what happens.
He
punches an alien.
Spiner gets wrapped up in an alien tentacle and used as a puppet.
That's right.
And then
Will Smith punches an alien.
Randy Quaid goes, "Hello, boys.
I'm back." And then they download a virus off a MacBook.
Yep.
Alien species travels across vast distances in space with super advanced technology. Gets taken down by a 1994 MacBook.
Boo.
Nope.
Boo.
Okay. Anyways.
And then we also have that Liam Hemsworth,
Baby Thor.
Yep. And Jeff Goldblum have been announced for the movie as well.
He finds a way to get into movies.
I'm so excited to be.
It reminds me of
this movie,
the Jeff Goldblum crackers.
Yeah. The last couple that I have, we have Lena Esco joins the TV show from Fox, Lucifer, which is based off a DC comic, as a character named Maze.
Yeah,
so she's
in the pilot.
She's a woman who can project corn from her hands,
or she transports you to a labyrinth.
Yeah, either way.
She's the Minotaur.
Secretly.
Dot.
That would be a good title, but nobody would get it.
Dot.
And then the last one I have is Sarah Michelle Gellar, who is Buffy. For anybody who doesn't know, she has joined the voice cast for Star Wars Rebels.
Awesome. Do we know who she's playing, or just she's gonna be here? Don't know who yet.
I will look it up, but I know that her husband, Freddie Prinze Jr., is already on the cast as one of the main characters. So let's see if her character is in here at all. Nope, aren't any details yet on who she'll be playing.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yep.
She's got a unique voice.
Yeah, I really like her voice, and Sarah Michelle Gellar is a really good actress in my opinion.
I actually,
and I'm not just saying that because the wife is sitting right next to me.
No, okay, I am not a huge Buffy fan, or
You're not a Buffy buff?
I'm not a. Is that what they're called?
No, they're called what? Slayers?
I'm not a Slayer.
Yeah.
However, I did enjoy it. every time you guys would come in and watch it while I was on the computer or something, I always caught glimpses of pieces. And I thought it was funny and I thought it was charming. So
Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon, of
Joss's
course.
boss.
So, there you go. He's like the god of the nerds.
Well, that's it for the news. So let's go ahead and move on to our reviews.
Tools, hammer, axe. Rope, 3/4 inch double brake. Perfecto.
Escaped robot fights for his life. Film at 11.
Target inside. Fire. Capture and hold. Elevation 16 meosicles. Visibility 5 feet. 2 feet. No feet.
Hey, laser lips. Your mama was a snowblower.
Yes, it's time for reviews, and if you couldn't tell by the clip back there, we're going to be reviewing Chappie.
Yes, Chappie.
Chappie!
Which, for being a robot who's already hard to understand, they get a person who is hard to understand.
Notoriously hard to understand.
Yeah, Sharlto Copley. Sharlto?
The gentleman who's been in every Neil Blomkamp movie.
He was the reporter in District 9, and he was the bad guy, the horrible guy in Elysium.
Yeah.
So the evil, undercover, off-the-books, assassin type.
Yeah.
Dude.
So Chappie is set in Johannesburg in 2022.
Yeah, it's like 20. It's like 20.
Yeah,
because 2016 is when they started this. They released like a robotic police force
to help out the current police.
Yeah, and it brought down a bunch of crime, and it's been going on for a couple of years.
And now most of the police work is done via robots.
Yeah, it's basically Operation Human Shield. And right in the beginning, you actually get to see the police robots in action, which is really cool. Where they go in and
you actually don't get to see much about the police robots other than
that. Yeah, and the one that apparently is, quote, cursed because he keeps coming back for repairs.
Yeah, like he keeps getting shot.
Yeah, things keep getting blown up off of him.
Well, he gets a rocket launcher to the chest and he goes for demolition.
Surprise, surprise. This is Chappie.
So the gentleman who made the robots has been working on an artificial intelligence program. He gets it working. He steals Chappie's chassis.
Before it gets crushed.
Because he requests it first from the
from the very, very two-dimensional Sigourney Weaver playing a CEO.
Yeah.
I did not like her character. I thought it was dumb. And like I said, I thought she just phoned in the role.
Kind of did a little bit. And so he steals it and he uploads his program. But things go awry, and it's a fun time for everybody.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. The R rating means, yes, you're going to get swear words and everything. It's not Short Circuit, where you can watch it with your kids.
It's the adult version of Short Circuit.
Yep.
Same basic premise. Military robot, gain sentience, gain some new friends.
Yeah.
People try to destroy it. He has to fight them back. Everyone lives happily ever after at the end.
Pretty good twist at the end, too.
Yes.
Surprising.
Very for Neil, for the director. He usually doesn't do this kind of stuff.
I would say the graphics, it's a Neil Blomkamp movie, so the graphics are the best part.
Amazing. The weapons are awesome. The robots look super cool, and they're
super
very
real.
lifelike.
Yeah, there's no... I barely recognize them as, as CGI.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe they had made real robots.
I think they did a lot of motion tracking because... Chappie has very human motions, and it kind of shows how he moves way more human than the police robots do.
He actually emulates the people he's been watching.
Yeah,
if you notice,
gangbangers and stuff.
His maker does this little where he brushes his nose, as he's talking. And things.
If you've ever seen a movie or a TV show where someone does a lot of cocaine. They do that where they sniff and they rub their nose a lot, and it's just kind of a habit thing. But yeah, he does emulate that.
Yeah, and when he does it, it's super weird because you're like, why is he doing that?
He doesn't have a nose.
But then you realize he's actually just being like other people.
So Chappie starts off childlike. His AI doesn't know anything, so it has to learn, but it's way smarter than human because it's a robot, obviously. And he eventually finds out that he can connect to the internet and download stuff when he needs it.
And he downloads like the entire database of the internet.
Yeah, well, he downloads everything he needs to know about consciousness and the brain and things like that.
It's so cool.
I thought it was a really well done movie.
Some of the acting was bad,
not very well received, and I think that's why. I think it's because
Sigourney Weaver phoned it in. I didn't really like Hugh Jackman's character. I didn't relate to him at all.
He's the office jock.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's just got this major vendetta against the programmer who, it's like, hey, you've got a good job.
Yeah.
They're not threatening to fire you. All they say is basically, hey, bring down your costs on your project.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking. And yeah, it might be hard, but you know what? You still have a job. It's not like the CEO said, hey, bring down your costs, otherwise you're gone.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he just said, bring down your costs.
So there's no reason for the amount of violence that he puts towards. He's super crazy and super religious too. Like
he is. I did notice that. He's
that's why he doesn't like the robots, because he doesn't like the artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
thing.
he thinks that only humans should be.
Yeah.
Being able to police other humans.
So,
and what I was going to say about the other acting is they got a lot of actors from South Africa, which Sharlto Copley is, but he's been in Neil, in Neil's other movies like District 9, like Elysium, and so he's a little more popular. He's also been in what's it called, Maleficent, as the Irish, Scottish, British king
that can't really
decide on what kind of accent to choose. But he plays Chappie. I'm sure they did a motion capture, and you can tell after I finally realized it was him. About halfway through, I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, that's where he is. He's Chappie." I could totally hear his voice and everything.
You told me at the end, and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay,
yeah."
All right.
But the other actors, not well known here in America.
Yeah,
I mean, and
yeah, like
hard to understand.
The actors really didn't do anything for me.
Hard to understand because they use slang and stuff that we don't know here.
They use
stuff that they
Africa
use
slang
in South Africa. I mean, South Africa, Johannesburg is basically, it's like a white city. And I'm not saying the color white. I'm talking like people. Yeah, there's a lot of darker skinned people there because it is Africa, but it's mostly white in real life.
It does have a really big,
because it has a very
population.
big. It has a very big industrial and very big companies there.
So. Yeah. Geek cards.
I'll give it 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
I'm about 3. I think it's not like 4 is a really good movie and then 5 is amazing. 3 is this was a good movie. I would go see it if there's nothing coming out.
Why I gave it another half a geek card is because of the twist at the end.
That's true.
Because it was very surprising, actually. It went the direction it went, and I obviously can't say anything, otherwise it would spoil it.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to do a spoilers and then talk about it because, you just have to go see it. I enjoyed it enough that I didn't feel regret in paying for it. It was one of those movies where I didn't go into it and go, "Oh man, I wasted $10." Or whatever.
Great.
So
yeah,
but yeah.
Now you'd think we'd be done,
but we're not.
Nope. We actually have a book review.
Whoa!
And not a picture book either.
That's I guess we read comics a lot. So yeah, you're right. Picture books.
A little while back, I came out with my pick of the week, saying that everybody should go read "Please Don't Tell My Parents I'm a Supervillain."
Yes.
Novel by a gentleman, can't remember his name.
I'll find it here while you're talking.
Well,
I read it based on your review and thought, oh my gosh, amazing.
Amazing. Well, the gentleman just came out with his second book, the second in the series, called Please Don't Tell My Parents I Blew Up the Moon, which is a story that continues the tale of young, I can't even remember her name.
Penny.
Yeah, Penny. Penelope Ack. Oh, it's by Richard Roberts is the gentleman's name. So Penelope Ack and her friends, who make up a supervillain team.
Yep.
The Inscrutable Machine.
Inscrutable.
Inscrutable?
Inscrutable or inscrutable?
I don't know.
Well,
they get recruited to go to Jupiter, basically.
Well, they detected a signal
From Jupiter.
At least this group of
Or from
supervillains detected a signal from near Jupiter, all the objects near Jupiter, and so they get recruited to go out and take a look and find out why there's a signal out there. It's a man-made signal, or at least not a non-natural signal. And so they're like, well, what's going on?
All right, well, let's go find out. So she makes a giant space fish, which is really awesome.
Yep.
And for those of you who haven't read the first book, her superpower, because she's only half superhuman, her super intelligence comes on and takes over, and she doesn't remember anything about what she creates.
She kind of goes into a daze, kind of blacks out, and all of a sudden wakes up, and she's got all these sweet inventions she made.
Which
she doesn't know why.
Baffle the entire superhuman community.
Yeah.
Like even the other intelligence, even her father, who is a super intelligence himself, is like, I can't even make this kind of stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, she's making high level things that break the laws of physics.
4 or 5,
tier 3, tier 4, that kind
on
of
a regular basis.
On a regular basis, not just like a one-off time.
Yep,
like all the time. She's breaking laws of physics and doing things that shouldn't be able to be done. Very fun book.
Yeah, they get into some hijinks. You get a lot of cool 1960s feel for the people they encounter.
It's retro space stuff.
Yeah.
You remember last week we talked about the moon?
The
Defend the Moon or whatever it's called.
Over the Moon.
And where it's that retro's 1950, 1960s technology.
Yeah.
Rockets look kind of cool where they're, rounded and bubbly and they got ray guns and things like that. And that's exactly what happens. And the reason why is because they run into a group of people from that time period.
From the 1960s who left
Earth.
Yep, for Jupiter, and they found out there's like 2 different colonies, one that uses a lot of gears and rotors and stuff.
Yep.
Rotor technology, and then one that uses jet technology.
Yes.
And it's really cool. I would give it a 4 out of 5. I don't think it's as good as Don't Tell My Parents I'm a Supervillain.
And I'm going to give it a little less. 3.5 out of 5, because I was like 5 out of 5 on Don't Tell My Parents I'm a Supervillain. Fantastic. This one was good. It was fun. It almost felt a little rushed.
It felt a little bit rushed. It felt a little bit not like
it wasn't
like a superhero story.
It was almost like it wasn't edited as well as the first one,
which kind of happens with these smaller
self-published on Amazon.
Yeah, because then
stuff.
The first one gets big. And everybody's like, we love this. And the guy's like, crap, I got to write another one.
Yep.
Or else I'm going to lose readers. But you really don't have to. It's fine.
Yeah, just let us know when it comes out.
We'll be good.
The cool thing is because I'll just read the first one again.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
I feel like I should have. Just so that I could remember everything.
There were a few things that I was like, I don't remember that. I don't really... What happened? Because even the ending of the first one... the big final battle, I don't really remember that one. It doesn't really click with me. So it was good. Go check it out. Go buy it. Support the guy because we want more of these.
Seriously.
And not just me and Corey, but
a lot of people want more of these.
Yeah.
I like adding book reviews into here too.
I do too. Once we read them up, we can put some book reviews in.
Shoving them at you and saying, read this.
If you're not a reader, I would suggest a book like this because
it's very kind of young adult, but with a adult feel.
Easy to read, fun, and quick.
Yeah,
I read "Don't Tell My Parents I'm a Supervillain" in like 4 days on the train ride to work and back.
2 or 3 for me.
Yeah, and so they're really fast reads, but it doesn't make them bad.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our trailers and videos.
There's a man here who thinks he can help you.
Batman?
No, he's a scientist.
Batman's a scientist.
It's not Batman.
So let's talk about the videos and trailers that we've been watching this week.
Yes, and let's start with the best of them.
Okay, we're talking about Age of Ultron, the third trailer.
Trailer 3.
Yep, and I heard that there was a third trailer coming out, and I was like...
Not another one.
I'm kind of done. There's not too much excitement that I can get out of the footage they've been showing.
You did this with Captain America as well.
I did.
Where they came out with like the first 5 minutes of it, and you were like, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to ruin it. I don't think they're gonna have enough. I don't think they're gonna have enough in the movie to be able to do this kind of a trailer and not just spoil everything.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. blew you out of the water
Yep.
when you saw the trailer, and then we saw the movie and we went, oh, there's so much more to this.
More. Yeah, geez.
That we didn't realize. Same thing with same kind of thing with Ultron. And I think, and this is not a fault against you, I think you like to try to keep your movies a little more mysterious. I don't care about spoilers as much as most people.
But I was not excited just because I was like, the footage that we've seen, I mean, it's great, but I've seen it. Like, I didn't think they could pull anything out that would make me completely surprised by this. Oh my gosh, I was so wrong. I watched it like 5 times.
I'm right there with you. At work, I see the little like news notification that it came out, and I'm like, oh, I should totally watch this. All right, I'll watch it in just a minute. Work. Okay, I'm gonna take a break and watch it. Yeah, I watched it 4 times in a row. So sorry, work. I wasted like 20 minutes. Watching a trailer, but you know what? It's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. It's
Age of Ultron is worth it.
So cool.
Yep. There's a lot of cool new stuff in there.
Ultron walks, talks, flies, actually moves. He doesn't just kind of stand there and look menacingly.
Knocks Captain America's shield away.
Oh, I don't know how to put this into words. I really don't. I'm having a hard time.
I do.
Oh, thank you.
I figured that I'd take care of that for you.
It reached 35 million views in one day,
which is a record.
10 of them were from us. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Marvel.
At least 10.
At least.
We're
gonna watch it after this because it was so good.
Yeah, that's and that last moment with the Vision, like not too much. They haven't been showing you anything of the Vision, and the little bit that they show you is just so amazing that you're like, I want to see more.
You look at it and you're going, holy crap, that's so cool.
Yep.
Paul Bettany's never looked better.
Yeah. I liked him in Knight's Tale though, so
sure, but he's no Vision.
We also had today, which thank goodness we waited till Monday to record this podcast.
Yeah.
Because we got to see the Tomorrowland trailer, the second one.
And
that came out.
Wow.
Super amazing. Got to see a lot more plot to it. Finally got to see a little bit more what it's all about, and a lot of the graphics in it are super amazing.
It looks awesome. I'm very, very excited to come out to see this.
You were pretty interested, and then the robots came out, and you're just like, you just stopped doing anything. You didn't even breathe as you watched the rest of that trailer.
It's true. I didn't breathe. I just went, wow.
Your eyes were a little bit more intense than that. There you go.
Yeah.
Listeners, did you see that?
And Corey turns back. I'm sitting on his bed behind him watching it, and he turns around and looks at me like,
did you see those robots?
And then turns back. Not robots.
Robots.
Robots. Yep. But it looks fantastic. It's coming out May 22nd. May is so far has got some awesome movies.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah.
We're oh my gosh, it's gonna be great.
You know what else is coming out that's good?
Yeah, in April.
This seems like it's been like an entire year.
Yeah, it feels like a lot more than a year actually.
That's true. Game of Thrones season 5.
Woo!
The second trailer for it has come out.
Good.
And wow, it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I saw a couple character deaths in there.
Probably.
But it's Game of Thrones. Obviously, there's going to be characters that die. It looks just like as amazing as you want it to be for Game of Thrones. So if you're a Game of Thrones fan, go check it out. It's awesome.
So Saturday Night Live.
Chris Hemsworth was on this Saturday.
Yes, he was. He was there.
Saturday.
He was hosting. And they did a sketch where it was interviewing the Avengers after they defeated Age of Ultron.
After they defeated Age of Ultron.
Defeated Ultron. And so Chris Hemsworth's dressed up in his Thor costume, and he's doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
He's dancing.
And I said, this is not too far off of what
that is kind of what
mythological Thor would do. He used he'd celebrate for months after a giant battle. Like
so. It's really funny. The guy who they got to play Bruce Banner gets the best line. I think I ate a guy.
Hilarious.
So there was a rumor floating around from this because Thor grabs the microphone and says, "Hey, to my ex Jane, how do you like me now?" And everybody was like, "Oh, do they break up in Age of Ultron?" Like everybody was misconstruing that as them having broken up in Age.
Maybe he slipped. Maybe he slipped. I don't know.
Slipped with Sif.
Probably not.
We also have... so PAX East happened.
Yes.
And a lot of good stuff comes out of PAX East. They show some video game stuff off. But of course, what I really care about is Blizzard Entertainment and everything that they're doing over there. They got some Overwatch characters. They showed off a new Heroes of the Storm hero. And they released a announcement trailer for their next Hearthstone adventure. And if you've listened to this podcast before, you know that I am gaga about Hearthstone. The announcement trailer is fun. Even if you're not a Hearthstone fan, it's a fun little ditty that a dwarf sings. So go check it out. But we've got more Hearthstone cards on the way, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah. So the next one we didn't actually get to watch, but we're going to.
Yeah, we're going to watch all of these.
And we're going to post this. I'm probably going to post it as a separate link, totally separate, because there's a lot going on. There was a list of 11 amazing steampunk short films.
Whew. And Scott's like, we can watch these before the podcast. What? We pull up the first one. How long is it? Half an hour?
33 minutes.
Oh.
Then the next one's 16 minutes. Next one's 6
20.
minutes. And the next one after that's 20, which that's fine. But apparently these are amazing and they're very not known.
Yeah.
So we're going to post those separately. And steampunk. I love steampunk.
I think
stuff.
it's great.
I'm not as obsessed as some people about it, but
yeah, I'm not
really
going to dress up in steampunk, but I think it's cool.
I love the idea of clockwork technology, and not
to show you
in Victorian era. I'm talking like nowadays. You pick up your phone and it's got little puffs of steam, and you can look in the back and there's gears ticking away, and it's it's an actual smartphone,
but it's
driven by
cogs
and gear. I think that's cool. Spaceships that are steampunk.
I have to show you. There's a game that I used to play called Rise of Legends, and in it there are 3. It's kind of a real-time strategy game. There's 3 races in it, and one of them is all about like clockwork stuff. And they literally have clockwork men that march and everything. It's really cool. I'll have to show it to you. So remind me of that.
It's kind of a good tie into our next video. Yeah. This kind of actually looks like a clockwork thing. It's a robotic salamander.
It's a robot?
It's a robot. And it's based off a salamander skeleton, so it looks just like a salamander. And it's pretty cool. It walks just like one. It's kind of creepy, actually.
It walks like an animal. It talks like an animal.
Nah. It does talk, so that's not animal-like. But it's almost in that uncanny valley area where it's getting good enough to the point where it's creepy.
It's like Apple made an animal, is what it looks like.
Remember the robotic tarantula?
Yes.
That I showed you that walks just like a regular tarantula and looks and does all the same motions.
That I wish we could have to scare the dogs with.
That right there is Uncanny Valley, and the only reason it's doesn't not be scary is because they gave it like one big red eye in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, because that makes spiders look better.
Right.
That makes them less scary as one big glowing red eye.
Let's take their 8 regular eyes and let's put one glowing HAL 9000 level eye.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
HAL level 9000.
HAL level 9000. We always talk about RCs now, apparently.
I like RCs.
I think they're great.
We had the Millennium Falcon a couple weeks ago, and we had the
Falcon quadcopter.
Yep, and we had the Batwing, which was so cool.
Yeah, super fast. But I think the person who did the Millennium Falcon came out with a quadcopter TIE fighter or TIE Interceptor. Sorry.
Yes.
Different ship entirely.
Yeah, the Interceptor I think has the pointed
spiky wing.
Front, yeah,
the spiky points and everything. So
yep,
it looks good. It looks fun.
It's a quadcopter that they built a kind of a foam board thing around it, and it looks really good, and it flies around pretty cool. It's slow. It's not as fast as the Batwing, but they're totally different types of flying.
Exactly.
Flying controllable vehicles.
And then the one that I showed to you that it's only 19 seconds long. Some computer animation student decided to put the Hulk up against 2 Tyrannosaurus Rexes. And it's a 19-second video of the Hulk beating up 2 Tyrannosaurus Rexes.
Beating the crap out of 2 Tyrannosaurus Rexes.
It's not even a contest.
It's funny. It is really funny. And like I said, watch out for that. We'll post it up as well.
Yep. You showed me the Lego Back to the Future clock tower scene, which
Everyone's seen that.
It made me want to watch.
Everyone's seen the clock tower scene.
Yeah, it made me want to watch Back to the Future again. But it's also really fun to see the different things that you can do with Legos that you can't.
Oh yeah,
like when the cable falls and wraps around his foot, Emmett Brown's foot. In the Lego version, it's a Lego piece and it clips to the back of his
in one of the peg holes.
Yeah,
yeah,
and he holds it there for a little while, which is really fun. And then the last one we saw was a movie.
Yeah, it is a news. I would say this is sci-fi.
It's sci-fi. Yeah,
coming out starring Ben Kingsley and Ryan Reynolds.
Ben Kingsley's evil.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily.
No, I'm just saying in general he's evil.
It's because you just think he's the Mandarin.
Yeah, he's a dying
billionaire, basically,
like billionaire architect. Or something.
He finds out that we didn't say the movie's called Self/Less.
Yeah, we did.
It's kind of a weird name. And that's why I was a little leery about watching it because it doesn't really scream sci-fi, fantasy, whatever.
Yeah, it looks like a chick flick movie.
And I was like, selfless. But anyways, I'm glad we watched it because now I'm like, we should see that.
Yep.
Anyways, he's dying.
Yep.
He finds out that there's a company out there that can transfer your consciousness into a younger body, basically transfer your mind.
A lifeless husk.
A lifeless, empty husk.
Well, turns out it's not so lifeless.
Soon to find out, it not just empty. Apparently, it was someone,
and he was
before. Kidnapped and mind wiped and that kind of thing. So.
Ben Kingsley becomes Ryan Reynolds.
Yep,
and gets to live his life over. But
it's kind of cool because he like anyone that's 60 years old and is dying is going to do in a 20-year-old body. They're going to go climb mountains and
exactly all the things that
have sex a lot and drive fast cars and all kinds of crazy stuff. Again, just because they can now. But he finds out that there's memories still in there, and
there's moral obligations and blah blah blah. Yeah,
very
it looks
interesting.
Like a good sci-fi.
It looks pretty good though. Yes,
we'll probably go see it.
And you know what? It's funny. It's funny that it came out right after Chappie. We saw it the same day we're reviewing Chappie, which is basically the same kind of thing.
Yeah, consciousness kind of stuff and everything.
Yeah, what is consciousness basically? Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Yep. Well, that's quick trailers and videos. So let's go ahead and get into our picks of the week.
Hi, I'm Jeff Goldblum. Guess what I'm selling? Wrong again. Jeff Goldblum wafers, the only cracker that talks when you put it in your mouth. Now, each cracker looks like a tiny Jeff Goldblum, and it makes scintillating conversation. Is that Bree? Oh, I love Bree. I once dated a girl named Bree. She was very lithe. Oh, you're eating me. That tickles. Your mouth smells like black licorice. You know, the twisty kind.
It's time for us to tell you what we've been geeking out about this week.
I didn't think I unmuted it. I think they heard just time. But anyways, we've been geeking about stuff.
Geeking about
stuff.
About.
And we're drunk.
Yep.
Remember.
It's the libation.
I'll go
episode.
first. I finally have one this week. I didn't fail this week like I did last time.
We do have a listener.
Oh, that's right. Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel says that she's been geeking out about time travel.
I'm not sure what that entails, but that's awesome. Yeah. I like time travel as well.
Good on you.
And we just talked about the Back to the Future stuff. So, time travel's awesome. And one of the best time travel movies of all time, of course, right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What I've been geeking out about this week is a card game.
Yay, I love card games.
Which is surprising because
it's not Exploding Kittens, is it?
No, I already did that one.
Okay.
Which I'm excited. It's supposed to be coming out in June, so we'll
nice.
see. No, it's a new one that I found, and I think it's from the same creators of Cards Against Humanity.
Okay.
It's got the same look, same kind of style.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure. Don't quote me on it, of course.
All right. Well,
it's called Super Fight.
Super Fight.
Basically, it's a game where you get a character like George W. Bush
or
the Easter Bunny,
toddlers,
a ninja, and then you get modifiers like shoots fire out of his nose.
Yeah.
Can
turn into any animal.
Can levitate feathers.
Yep.
But only
giant
feathers.
Hamster ball.
And so one player will get the person, and they'll pick a person. I think you get to draw like 3, and then you pick one out of the 3. But I'm not 100% sure. I haven't played it yet, but I've just been loving the videos that watched of it a couple of times. You pick the person, and then you pick power cards, and you assign a power. and then you argue back and forth of who would win in that fight.
So you get basically into a death match against everybody's characters.
Yes.
And somebody's the judge and picks who they think will win.
Yeah. The table is the judge.
Yep.
So like if us three that were right here would be playing, I would say, well, George W. Bush in a hamster ball versus zombies.
Super fast zombies.
Who would win? And I would say, well, George W. Bush has got this indestructible hamster ball the zombies can't get through, and he can just roll over the top of them.
True, but super fast zombies would run up and hit into him, bouncing him away, eventually into the ocean, where he couldn't do anything but starve to death.
And so you would make your arguments, and the third person at the table would choose who would win.
Which it would be super fast zombies.
It would be
case.
George W. Bush and hamster ball.
We actually switched when we were talking about this earlier. I was George W. Bush.
But they weren't super fast. They were something else. But anyways, that's what it is. So basically, they took the same thing that geeks have been doing their entire existence and put it into a card game.
Superman, you be Batman.
Pretty much.
It looks awesome,
amazing. You can't buy it on Amazon. They don't have it on Amazon, but you can get it on their website.
You can purchase the whole game and all the expansions out
like
to date.
7 expansions for
$110.
$110.
Adult expansions too.
For $110.
Which isn't bad.
Probably going to pick it up.
Yeah.
I got some overtime coming up here, so I might just use
Sounds
that.
good.
Use that for a little super fight.
Well, I'm very excited to tell you about my pick of the week, Scott, because I've been itching. Because I saw this on Saturday. And I was like, Scott,
they have like creams and stuff for that.
I know. I've been taking them, and my pick of the week is what's a good cream?
Tough actin' Tinactin.
Tough actin' Tinactin. Yes. No, my pick of the week is actually an Amazon original TV series.
I mean, they've got a couple of them. Sure.
So imagine in a world where the U.S. did not win World War II. The Germans dropped the bomb on Washington, D.C. first, the H-bomb, and then proceeded to conquer America.
A-bomb.
No, an H-bomb.
Really?
Yeah.
They say H-bomb in it?
Well, yeah, that's what they're...
Because that wasn't developed until long after the war
actually,
was
this
over.
takes place in the 60s.
Huh,
So,
okay.
But in the 1940s, maybe it was an A-bomb.
Anyways.
But now they were developing H-bombs. And it's different technology because the Germans are using their scientists for technology and everything. So, like, 3/4 of America is now the German states. Like, the Nazi Republic states, basically.
Interesting. What about Europe? What happened to Europe?
Probably taken over, too. They don't really cover Europe. Because
okay.
it takes place in America. Now, the West Coast, California and everything, and a little bit into Nevada, is the Imperial Japanese territories.
Oh.
They were given that part. And then a sliver down the middle, a little bit in Utah, a little bit in Colorado, is the neutral zone where people run to, like, escape to.
Okay.
That want to get away from the Nazis. But this is a world where they've been living under Nazi and Japanese rule for 20 years.
Okay.
By this point.
All right.
The Man in the High Castle is a character that really you don't ever see, but he has these newsreels that he's given to, like, he gave to this person who wants to like break out of this, and she dies and gives it to her sister.
Okay.
Well, it turns out that these newsreels are of the Allies winning the war, our newsreels. So this girl has to take it to Colorado in the neutral zone, and she's trying to get there, and then there's this gentleman in New York that has to travel cross country to Colorado as well with a precious cargo of his own. Well, a lot of cool stuff ensues. You get to see a lot of how the Nazis, like, Hitler's an old man. He didn't kill himself.
Okay.
He's an old man, and he's, like, got Parkinson's, and he's close to dying. So there's this huge power struggle going on, and they're hoping that it doesn't come to a war between the Germans and the Japan for the control of the rest of America.
Okay.
And, that's probably what's going to happen. But she comes from the Japanese side, and he comes from the American side. Really cool seeing the culture clash and everything.
It sounds really interesting.
So I would seriously recommend it for you. It's got the guy in Knight's Tale, the villain, Adamar.
Okay.
Count Adamar.
Yeah.
He's one of the Nazis. Olgenführer or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. And then on the Japanese side with the girl, one of her friends is actually Rat from the core, if you remember.
Yeah.
So
the hacker,
the hacker, and he's really funny in that and everything with the little part that he plays. But it's a 2-hour premiere for Amazon, and it's actually been picked up for their Prime TV series.
Nice.
So they're going to be doing a lot more.
So they've only had one.
They've only had the one episode so far, and it's free for anybody to, even if you don't have Amazon Prime,
to
you
check
can go
it out
on Amazon and check this out.
Kind of like how Powers is coming out,
and they're going to do the first
tomorrow.
episode. Holy crap! Yeah, you're right.
Powers episode
today,
1.
by the time you're listening to this,
today, yeah, Powers episode 1 will be out for free
March 10th.
March 10th.
Wow.
At PlayStation.com.
Woo!
So go watch Man in the Castle, Man in the High Castle, and then go watch Powers as well.
It's super good, guys. If you have any love for like alternate futures and anything like that, or alternate
history,
it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, Star Trek's done this where the Germans won World War II, and because of the alien technology they found, and all kinds of crazy stuff happens. Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
So good. Well, that's it.
That is it.
That's going to do it for the Acts of Geekery Podcast.
Guess what, guys? It's only an hour and a half episode,
look
roughly.
at that. Yeah.
not 2.5 like Corey
Whew.
tricked you.
I got you. I got you good.
Yeah.
You were fooled for about 10 seconds until you looked at your phone or your computer, wherever you're listening.
And maybe it'll just be 2 hours of white noise after this.
Yeah.
Just so we can say it's a 2.5 hour episode.
There we go. If you are listening at your computer, why don't you get on your email and type in actsofgeekery@gmail.com. Send us a comment about what you thought of this episode. Did you like Chappie better than we did? Did you hate it?
Is there something you're geeking out about?
Yeah,
if that's
absolutely.
The case,
Time travel?
You're also on the computer, so hit us up on Facebook.com/actsofgeekery.
Or Twitter. You can look us up there either on your computer or smartphone. We're at Acts of Geekery or using the hashtag Acts of Geekery. We'll see your questions and comments there.
Absolutely. You can also find us on iTunes, and make sure you leave a review.
5 stars, please.
Give us some 5 stars.
I mean,
5-star
you can
loving.
give us whatever you want, but we'd love a 5-star review. Or you can go to youtube.com and then look up Acts of Geekery, not /Acts of Geekery.
Yeah, it doesn't. None of the channels have their own thing.
We usually post the podcast there same day. You can refer it to your friends from there, or you can leave us a comment saying what you thought of the episode.
Like it, subscribe to us.
Yeah.
We post new episode every week.
And
sometimes we have other video stuff going on.
Yeah, we're gonna try and post some more videos. I know you and I are getting more into Space Engineers and
We'll do some Let's Plays and things like that. I'd love to do some like medieval engineers stories.
Yeah,
where we have a couple episodes, different things like that. And all of those are ACTS, not AXE.
Wonderful. Well, until next time, episode 35, when we're not going to be drunk. Hopefully.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
Who knows? I'm Corey.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek.
Keep geeking out.
See ya.
I'm going to mute it.
Wait. Let me just get all the swear words
3.
out. Okay. Yeah. Swear words in 3, 2, 1.